Manectric happy to invest that Protect Shield before looking for that full Thunderfang farm down. The opponent sends out Manectric and one very bulky Pokemon, but Manectric with a monstrous attack stat. We're going to farm up, fire off the Wild Charge. Wild Charge will be removing Metachan from the field of play. Out comes Tentacruel, but Tentacruel going to find itself straight in and straight out. Welcome back to the channel. Today we get the absolute pleasure of shoutcasting one of my favourite and most talented battlers, Turbo T612. I am no stranger to shoutcasting Turbo's battles. I've featured him numerous times before, and he is always a treat to shoutcast, as he is always bringing us some unique, destructive triple Sjadow battles. And today we're taking a look at the Brothers of Destruction, the buffed variant of Sjadow Manectric and Sjadow Arcanine. Both of these beasts have access to, of course, the elemental fangs. We're going to have Arcanine running Fire Fang and Manectric running Thunder Fang, both of which are going to get an same type attack bonus. Unfortunately, both of these Pokemon are going to be weak to ground, so to cover for this weakness, we're going to be taking a look at Abomasnow running Leafage. Need I say any more? Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. An in-game one. Turbo T612 leads Sjadow Abomasnow into Girafarig. Some Sjadow on Sjadow crime. Unfortunately for us, the opponent is running double kick, which means two things. Firstly, they're going to be spammy as to their charge move, and secondly, Abomasnow is going to be taking super effective from that fighting type damage. We shield up the Psychic Fangs, return fire with the Weather Ball. Weather Ball forces our Protect Shield back, and we see the pivot into Arcanine, looking to bait out any potential ground type. The opponent opts to stay in, fire off the Psychic Fang, debuffing our defense, and then send up a barrel. We look to fire off the Wild Charge. Unfortunately, the rollout takes us out before it's able to register. We now send back out Abomasnow and look to soak the energy. Hyper Fang will be removing us from the field of play, and it's all down to Manectric to clean up. Look at that Thunder Fang damage. The barrel gets deleted in the blink of an eye. The opponent thinking about it, taking a long time to send something out. Out comes Dunsparce. As Turbo is running Manectric as a closer, we don't have Psychic Fangs. We've got twin nukes of Wild Charge and Overheat. The opponent might look to call the bait. We fire off the Wild Charge, forcing the final Protect Shield. Turbo now needs to be very mindful. The opponent might look to make the catch. There's the attempted catch. We Thunderfang farm down Girafarig, leave with the next Wild Charge. And from a rough spot, Manectric gonna clean up. GG's and thanks for playing. Manectric running absolutely rampant already in battle number one. In the next battle, we see Superior in the lead. The opponent instantly pivot out without checking our fast move and send out their own Sjadow Arcanine. We respond with Sjadow Manectric. The opponent going to fire off the Psychic Fangs. We're able to survive, but the opponent does Fire Fang, farm us down afterwards. Turbo is going to be forced to enter the mirror, revealing his third, as we can't send out Abomasnow, taking double super effective damage while dealing resisted. Turbo sends out Arcanine, looks for the Fire Fang farm down, but unfortunately unable to get it before the opponent reaches the dying Psychic Fangs. Out comes a barrel. We YOLO the Wild Charge, trying to sneak it through two Protect Shields. The opponent wisely invests that Protect Shield, and we send back out Abomasnow. Oh, this is so tough. Turbo last second invests the Protect Shield, blocking up the Hyper Fang, baiting back out Superior. Turbo T farms up, fires off the Weather Ball on the charge attack priority. Weather Ball lands, potentially giving us a win con. Ideally, we really need this Aerial Ace to remove us from the field of play. Aerial Ace isn't quite lethal. You can see Turbo has the charge move bank, but he's unable to throw it as the opponent has a Protect Shield, and we need to try and farm down this thing and reach double charge moves against the barrel. Unfortunately, that simply is not possible, and we're going to take a heartbreaking loss. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Shadow Gator in the lead, a matchup that is greatly improved as we're running Leafage. The opponent recognises they're getting torn apart by the Leafage damage, opt to send out Clodsire. To be honest, this is essentially where we want to see it, so I'm going to anticipate Turbo being like, great, I'm just going to stay in. The opponent invests a Protect Shield. Turbo happy to match, blocking up the Stone Edge. Abomasnow with a heavy pace and advantage in this matchup. Turbo overfarmed before firing off the next Weather Ball. Weather Ball rocks Clodsire deep into the red, and Turbo is doubled up. Is the opponent willing to two-shield Clodsire? Yes, they are. That is absolutely perfect for us. Clodsire ended up playing to the CMP tile. They do not win. Stone Edge moves us from the field of play. But we've got two Pokemon remaining with access to Wild Charge. We send out Arcanine. Arcanine able to get that full Fire Fang farm down. The opponent reluctant to send back out Gator. Send out Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz also not appreciative of the Wild Charge. We send out Manectric. We're able to get the snipe with the Thunder Fangs. The opponent doesn't want that smoke, and they concede the match. Let's go. Heading into the next battle. This time we see Mandibuzz in the lead position as we're running Leafage, a very favourable matchup for the opponent. We see the say switch into Arcanine, the opponent fire off the aerial ace, continue to stay in, so Turbo once again going to YOLO the nuke, trying to sneak it through to Protect Shield's wild charge, forces that Protect Shield. The opponent is going to be forced to throw. The opponent actually get greedy, try and snarl farm down Arcanine, but Arcanine like, nah, reaches the next wild charge, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield, setting up Manectric with a 2-0 shield advantage. The plus side of Manectric is we have a monstrous attack stat. The downside is we cannot tank a hit for shit. Turbo very quickly gives up both Protect Shields, blocking up back-to-back foul plays. The opponent allows us to full Thunderfang farm down, giving us a very nice running start on energy. Out comes Metachan, one very, very bulky Pokemon. But Manectric about to put that bulk to the test. Wild Charge moves Metachan from the field of play. Out comes Tentacruel. The opponent looks for that poison jab farm down. Manectric says no, and Tentacruel going to be straight in and straight out. Get that Tentacruel off my screen, and Manectric runs rampant, sweeping the back line. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see the battle of the grass types on Powder Snow, usually a very favourable matchup for a Bomber Snow. However, as we're running Leafage, not as favourable as it usually is. Turbo still able to outpace to the Weather Ball, forcing us an early shield advantage. The opponent is going to need to force in a Shadow Ball to remove us from the field of play. Turbo thought about calling it last second, invest to Protect Shield on the Seed Bomb bait, but undeterred, a Bomber Snow going to fire off the next Weather Ball, very quickly forcing the opponent all shields down. A Bomber Snow, thank you very much for your contribution. We're just going to sack a Bomber Snow, blink, and you might miss it as Arcanine. Going to delete this Trevenant in the blink of an eye. Arcanine comes in, gets a very nice running start and energy, and out comes Azumarill. Azumarill might think it's thick. We're not even electric type, but Wild Charge rocks Azumarill into the red health range. We see the aggressive pivot into Manectric. We're able to get the snipe, and out comes a Bomber Snow. Oh, baby, this is what Overheat's for. We're going to invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the Weather Ball. Manectric able to reach the Overheat, and my god, this is going to be an assassination Overheat. Massive overkill, double super effective damage, and we take that game. Did I not tell you all in the intro, Turbo T does not disappoint. In the next battle, we see a fantastic lead. The opponent say switches into Sjadow Typhlosion, and we send out Arcanine. Arcanine not messing around, going straight for the Psychic Fang, forcing us an early shield advantage. Opposing fire types are going to be quite a problem for this team. We're going to see Turbo invest to Protect Shield, blocking up the Thunder Punch, but unfortunately Typhlosion so incredibly spammy, able to outpace the next Thunder Punch, removing us from the field of play. Turbo T, of course, going to have to send out Manectric. Thankfully, we only take one Incinerate, but even that did so much damage. The opponent sends back out Gator. We see Turbo T, like a savage, farm up, catch the Hydro Cannon onto a Bomber Snow where it will be resisted damage. The opponent continued to stay in, so Turbo T going to look to remove this Alligator from the field of play with the Weather Ball. Weather Ball goes unshielded, picking up the knockout, and out comes Whimsicott. A Bomber Snow reaches the Weather Ball. Come on, trainer, you need to shield. This is the hardest move left in the game, I promise. Weather Ball forces the Protect Shield, and the opponent is going to dump energy. Oh boy, I'm about to lose my shit. Seed Bomb removes us from the field of play. Back out comes Manectric. The opponent probably thinks they're outside of Wild Charge range. Trainer, you're not wrong, but you're certainly not outside of Overheat range. We've got the Overheat locked and loaded. Get that Whimsicott off my screen, and we take that game. Come on, Jamie, hold it together. We're not even halfway through today's shoutcast. In the next battle, we see the battle of the ice types. This is a matchup we're very appreciative for the neutral leafage damage. Turbo heavily overfarms before going for the cheeky Weather Ball bait, knowing tap nonsense charm users love to shield everything. The opponent doesn't disappoint, shielding up the Weather Ball bait. Turbo going to invest to Protect Shield and look to force the opponent all shields down or just straight win lead. Ball in the opponent's court. Energy Ball forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Oh gosh, we're about to see Manectric pop off again. I'm calling it already. Turbo sends out Arcanine not only to farm down, but to operate as the damage sponge. We tank the Weather Ball, out comes Diggersby. Oof, perhaps I've called this sweep a little early. This could be quite tricky. Arcanine fires off the Psychic Fangs. We see Turbo stay in, get off as much Fire Fang damage as he physically can. The issue we've got here is we can remove Diggersby from the field of play with an Overheat, but after doing that, we are going to debuff our own attack. The opponent pivots out into knockdown. Trainer, what are you doing? The opponent gift Turbo a very easy win con. One shield, fully farmed down knockdown, leaving with the Overheat banked. And Overheat, despite not getting same type attack bonus, easily going to remove Diggersby from the field of play, and we're going to take that game. In fairness to the opponent, they probably thought, let's just reset our debuff. There is no one move that'll knock us out. Well, surprise, trainer, there was the move. We see a fantastic lead. The opponent safe switches into Walrein. It looks like Manectric can one shield and fully farm down, although Turbo has other ideas. Actually looks to tank the damage, still farm down, which we're unable to get. The opponent makes a huge mistake. This is the early ranks. The opponent didn't wait out their timer and opt to reveal their third. So of course what you should do in situations like this is pick a Pokemon last second and hope you guess right. As the opponent has hastily sent out Umbreon into the battle arena, of course, we're just going to send out Arcanine here just to get some use out of it and keep that really positive alignment. The opponent tried to make the catch onto Swampert. We see the catch a mile away. Send out Abomasnow. Abomasnow going to be able to fully leafage farm down. Umbreon is going to get just spammed with too many charge moves. Turbo still with 2 Protect Shield, 2 Harpion. Going to shield at the foul play. We throw 1 leafage and the hard hitting Energy Ball, looking to do maximum damage. Energy Ball forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Abomasnow looking to commit to the next one. I don't think this will quite be lethal, as the opponent has about 10 bazillion HP. Actually, I take that back. Abomasnow says, respect my attack stat, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Abomasnow into the Bear Trap, Galarian Stunfisk. This can hit the whole of our team for super effective. Turbo stays in, gonna fire off the Weather Ball, hoping to do some chip damage. Weather Ball actually forces us an early shield advantage. We're going to see Turbo happy to match Protect Shield, blocking up the Rock Slide. Due to the Mud Shot rework, Stunfisk is actually a lot slower to charge with now. Rock Slide used to be straight 5s, is now 665, exactly the same as Landorus in the Master League. We're able to fire off the next Weather Ball on the charge attack priority. We're going to see Turbo go all in on Abomasnow. I don't think we can farm down. We actually bank some energy, send out Arcanine. We're able to snipe, but the opponent doesn't respond quick enough, and out comes Hypno. Turbo going to heavily overfarm, fire off the Wild Charge on the charge attack priority, hoping to punish a no shield. Wild Charge, oof, go shielded. We now find ourselves in a shieldless game. That's probably a bit too much health to Thunderfang farm down. Turbo going to wait out his clock. I imagine send back out Abomasnow, back out comes Abomasnow. The opponent sends out Scrafty, and Scrafty's instantly going to be greeted with the Energy Ball. Energy Ball going to rock Scrafty below half health. We see the pivot into Manectric. Manectric able to Thunderfang farm down, leaving very close to the Wild Charge. Back out comes Hypno. We reach the Wild Charge, and Wild Charge is going to be all she wrote. GG's. Manectric absolutely cleaning house in the back in the next battle. We see another Ninetales in the lead. This one is actually the Powder Snow variant. Once again, we're very grateful for the neutral leafage as opposed to the resisted Powder Snow. The opponent fire off the Weather Ball, rocking Abomasnow below half health. Turbo again farms past the Energy Ball base with the Weather Ball. Weather Ball forced the protection, and we see the aggressive pivot into Arcanine, baiting out the Quagman. That is such a smart pivot from Turbo. A9 and the Quagman, or any Mudboy for that fact, form a very solid core. Whenever you've got a double weakness, you've always got to look to bait it out of one of your B-types. You can bring back in Type A, as we do here, clearing the path for your second B-type to hopefully sweep the back line. Turbo invests 1 Protect Shield, commits the full leafage farm now, leaving with a whole heap of energy. Back out comes A9, and we are going for the kill shot. Energy Ball removes A9 from the field of play, and out comes Venusaur. Turbo with access to the overheat. Does the opponent look to call a Psychic Fang? Let's see. Turbo invests the final Protect Shield, blocking up the Frenzy Plant. He's then going to heavily overfarm and actually go for double Wild Charge. You can see these resisted Thunderfangs don't look all that resisted. Wild Charge does force the opponent's final Protect Shield. Can Abomasnow reach the Weather Ball? The Vine Whips are going to be resisted. Abomasnow only 1 away. Turbo reaches the Weather Ball, and that is going to be all she wrote. A very, very well played game. GG's. And that is going to help Turbo clutch up a perfect 5-0. Let's get it. We've actually got 3 sets today. And for the final set, we've got Jumpluff in the lead position instead of Abomasnow. And we are off to a good start. We see Kingdra in the lead. The opponent says, which is into Ferrothorn. And here comes Arcanine. Arcanine going to melt through the Grass Steel type in. The opponent fire off the Thunder. Arcanine takes a lot of damage because it is a very glassy boy. Back out comes Kingdra. Kingdra instantly hit with the Psychic Fangs, forcing the opponent's first protection. The opponent commits that full Dragon Breath farm down. We send back out Jumpluff, fire off the Energy Ball, looking to move Kingdra from the field of play, and the opponent very quickly finds himself all shields down. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fire off the Octazooka bait, then send out Alola Marowak, and here comes Manectric. Turbo T612 finds himself in a near unlosable position. We're going to shield up the Shadow Bone. He's not messing around, he's going straight for the wild charge, looking to remove Marowak from the field of play. Unfortunately, Manectric will not be getting the sweep as these Dragon Breaths are going to melt for us very quickly with Jumpluff, has energy and health. We're going to outpace the energy ball, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's. The Jumpluff variation of the team off to a very quick 1-0 start, heading into the next battle. We lead Sjadow Jumpluff into Primeape, an absolute dream lead. The opponent safe switches into Ariados, and it is immediately hard punished with Arcanine. Arcanine is going to fully wall this moveset unless the opponent's an absolute Spice Lord running Shadow Sneak, which I think hardly anyone is. However, as the opponent actually lunge debuffed us, we're unable to fire Fang Farm down before the second move's reached. However, that being said, Primeape's going to be forced to give up one of these Protect Shields back unless the opponent wants to get completely taken out. You can see this next Psychic Fangs. At a -1 defense, will be securing the knockout. The opponent completely sacked Primeape, putting all their hopes and dreams on Starmie. Oh my gosh, look at the fast move pressure. That was an absolute crime. I actually feel quite bad for that opponent, but GG's regardless. In the next battle, Turbo really is the algorithm confirmed, as these are straight sets, not hand selected battles. Turbo always sends me straight sets, and we are 2 for 2 with fighting leads with our Jumpluff. The opponent safe switches into Superior, we force a Protect Shield, and then send out Arcanine. I think this is one of the main reasons I often don't shield my safe switch whatsoever, as if you often shield, you just get hard punished anyway. Turbo opting for the 1 shield, full Fire Fang Farm down. The opponent actually sends out Gator. Oh, I'm not sure on this bait. I would have personally full send the opponent, call the first Psychic Fangs, but we're able to reach the second. So I guess regardless, we're getting off some guaranteed damage, but my god, would I love to see that one hit KO. Looks like the opponent going to be unable to reach the Ice Beam. So at worst, this is a crunch. The opponent only fire off the Hydro Cannon. Send out Annihilate. We're going to go straight for the Energy Ball. Energy Ball should be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. And at this point, they're just playing out the inevitable. Turbo not even interested in shielding up Jumpluff. Rage Fist actually isn't lethal. The opponent looking for that counter farm down. They're unable to get it. Jumpluff reaches the next Energy Ball and takes that game. With Manectric getting a well-deserved rest on the bench after doing a lot of heavy lifting. In the next battle, we see Licky far too thicky. Jumpluff has picked up 2 commanding leads in the first 2 battles. However, this Lickitung is going to be somewhat of a problem. The rollouts, of course, hitting Jumpluff's flying type are super effective. And if they've got Earthquake, that would easily one-shot our back 2 Mon. We're able to land the Acrobatics, the opponent return fire. With the Shadow Ball, we see the aggressive pivot into Arcanine, once again baiting out that ground type. We see Turbo attempts to throw on the charge attack priori, but looks like the opponent's continuing to farm up energy. The opponent actually shields the Psychic Fangs. They look for that full Mud Shot farm down. Trainer, that's greedy. Arcanine holds strong. Reach the next Psychic Fangs. The opponent shields twice against the Fire type, which is a very questionable play. Turbo sends back out Jumpluff to operate as the damage sponge. Looks like the opponent doesn't have Sludge Wave, or perhaps they're just baiting, but regardless, we're completely sacking Jumpluff and putting it all on Manectric. Hopefully the opponent doesn't pivot out so we can get an easier farm down with a double debuff defense. They do give us that full farm down. Send back out Lickitung. We invest the Protect Shield. Manectric looking for that full Thunderfang farm down, which we get. Show me something we can nuke. Out comes Machamp. Oh, baby. I'm quite surprised to see Turbo not look to remove it from the field of play before they fire off a charge move, but regardless, Machamp has no shot of surviving a move from Shadow Manectric. We fire off the Overheat, which is massive overkill, and take that game. In the next battle, oof, we found a problem, and it is called Toxapex. A problem for both Jumpluff and Arcanine. We actually safe switch into Arcanine, the opponent able to outpace to the Brine, and we're instantly going to go down a Protect Shield. We look to fire off the Psychic Fangs. Looks like the opponent makes a very nice catch, catching onto Primeape. The opponent invests that Protect Shield. They are now going to be able to outpace to the Rage Fist, not only moving us from the field of play, but vamping up their attack. Turbo sends back out Jumpluff. Jumpluff going to be able to absorb this energy as long as it ain't a boosted Ice Punch. The opponent just fire off a Rage Fist. Jumpluff now going to overfarm and have to full send an Energy Ball as we've got no Aerial Ace. Energy Ball, of course, will easily knock out. And we need to hope they are double weak to Manectric. We see Turbo spamming the switch. Let's go, Manectric. Closing style, buddy. Oh, shit. Potentially, this isn't over. Most Manectric run Psychic Fang's Wild Charge. If I was the opponent, I'd be thinking logically, I don't want to shield the first Psychic Fang, as the second will do more damage. Turbo heavily overfarms, and we are full sending. It's just a Psychic Fang trainer, I promise. No! the opponent the ruiner of all our fun. They correctly show the overheat, fire off the air relays, which isn't quite lethal. One more environment gets the job done. Turbo says, "You've got me, buddy," and we are going to concede the match. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's shoutcast. A huge thank you to Turbo for once again bringing us some epic entertainment, this time in the Great League. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If, like Turbo, you'd like your battles featured on my channel, the link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.